So if you're pretty much past the point of simple self-care, and if you feel like your nervous system is almost like vibrating, um, you're pretty much breaking down, and you've gone kind of numb. Uh, you're you aren't just tired; you're almost redlining. Um, And when you know that you can't just quit your life and you have to stabilize the ship, um, here's your, let's call it like an emergency protocol. So basically, tips, ideas of the way you can feel better and get ready for next steps as soon as you're in a better place in order to do that. So let's talk about being competent and let's execute aggressive incompetence. And so burnout happens typically to the reliable ones. So usually your superpower is like getting everything done. And it's actually then killing you right now. And it's time to strategically be bad at the things that don't actually matter. So stop over delivering. So, for example, replying to emails with just one sentence, or uh, letting the laundry stay in the dryer, of course, depending on your degree on confidence that if it isn't on fire or if it isn't a fire, uh, just let it be. And you're saving your energy for survival, basically, and not for gold stars. So that would be the first thing. Uh, Another one would be in terms of making sure uh, your consumption of uh, internet sites, etc., is not hurting you. And of course, a complete digital fast is a hard thing to do, but maybe you can apply some rules, put some rules for you to respect for some time, just to try it out. So if your brain is overstimulated and cannot process more data, so think about times, for example, from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., your phone goes into a drawer, or no doom scrolling about burnout, or, yes, no work things, or no news, um, because you actually need to starve your brain of new information for some time so it can finally process the mountain of stress you've already accumulated. So this would help. And again, it's a matter of not going like 100% on a fast, but helping with small steps. Um, and also in physical terms. So you do have this physical stress buildup. So, and it's like it is a chemical and it's not just a feeling. So, you can't think your way out of cortisol, for example. You have to move it out. And yeah, when you get home and you're tired and you're not ready for real exercise, still, when you get home, it's important not to just go ahead and sit on the couch and just ruminate, think about what went wrong during the day, but try to at least spend like 5 minutes doing something physical. Um, it can be even taking a cold shower, um, or a heavy carry or something, and just tell your body that the threat is over, so it can switch from like fight or flight mode to more rest and digest. Um, then the next one being number four, um, you can try to kind of silence the inner taskmaster. So you have a voice, and the loudest voice in burnout isn't your boss, it's usually the voice in your head, uh, kind of letting you feel lazy for needing a break, which is totally absurd. But so try to recognize that rest is now your most productive work. If you don't choose, for example, a day, a time to rest, your body will eventually pick a day, a time to collapse for you. So reframe rest as preventative maintenance and not as luxury. Um, and this is time you will definitely need for yourself. And if it's in advance, it's kind of easier to schedule that, or yeah, more easily to uh, find time than if you just let it happen. So it is about being proactive to the extent that you can. Um, and then in terms of making sure you silence too much noise, um, let's talk about the one thing. So when you're burning out, your to-do list looks like a wall of noise, basically. It's all or nothing, and every morning you pick then for the time being one thing that must happen, just one. And once that is done, the day is a success. Of course, everybody has a busy day, but make sure that everything else, in a way, in your mind is a bonus. So make it doable. Of course, not everything is doable, but if you cannot just concentrate on this one thing, uh, maybe the other way around. What can you subtract the one thing and lower the bar until you can actually step over it again? And the last thing would be, even if it's just psychologically helpful right now, and maybe you don't have to take further steps, how would you like to start planning or thinking about maybe retiring early? So, can you put a plan together? What could help you with making sure that you achieve those goals? And this one, this sixth one, can actually wait. I mean, um, it is about looking forward to something in the future as well. So that's why I think it basically makes sense for you to start thinking about it, planning, um, but it can wait until at least you take a deep breath and see that you're finding place, space for yourself. Um, and basically make sure you don't feel that you're failing at life. You aren't failing at life, and you are actually responding to an unsustainable load. And in many cases, it also helps you if you can, for example, delegate things at home, for example, and shouldn't make should try not to let things sound or feel impossible, like uh, might right now. So these are some steps that, or some tips that might help you achieve a little more relaxation and just going back to the inner taskmaster a little closer and making sure that you also, for example, delegate things at home if you can, if you have a family, and this is something that can help you. And delegating also, of course, if it's possible somehow at work, definitely should be something you should always consider. All right, so let me know in the comments if any of the tips is something you can put into action right now, and if you have further ideas, and we'll come back to this and go deeper into those, uh, yeah, in the next few videos. All right, thank you for being there.